Hey everybody, Mark Edward Lewis here from CinemaSound.com. Today we're going to be looking at another entry into our video series on comparing and contrasting Adobe Premiere Pro with Davinci Resolve Fairlight Page. Today we're going to be comparing and contrasting their bus architectures, which one's easy to use and most flexible. Let's roll. All right, we've got both Adobe Premiere Pro and Davinci Resolve open, which I don't think anybody should be doing at the same time unless you've got an awful lot of video RAM. But we're going to be talking about busing. Which one of these platforms is the most flexible and easy to use when it comes to busing? Let's take a look at Davinci Resolve. One of the things that we have to do in order to really maximize busing in Resolve is we have to go up here in the Fairlight page to these three dots and make sure that we have the sends, bus groups, and bus outputs selected so that we can say, I want the output of this channel to go to a particular bus. Once we do that, then we'll see it show up here in the master section.
Now, here's me outside.
But we can also turn that off and just say, I want to be able to select how much of this that I want to go there. And you can see the little three things there which are not available if we do just a bus output, because the bus output would obviously just be 100%. We click here and we can tell it how much send do we want to be there. We also have pre and post fader, which is really, really great. And then if I want to have more than one bus, instead of just having something here where I can say add bus or add track or whatever, I go up here to Fairlight, bus format, add bus, and then we can, you know, make it however we want, make it stereo, make it 5:1, and then, you know, color code it, hit OK. And now I can send the output here to test. And I can even route these this test bus to bus 1, which is the master output.
Blowers themselves.
And you'll notice it's going from the channel to the test bus over here, and then from the test bus to bus 1 here, and you're good to go. It's a little cumbersome, I got to tell you, to get around in this way. It's not really very audio friendly. Now, if you're an editor and you don't know any better, then that's great. I totally get it. But the fact that I have to go over here and take a look at some of these routings this way and also have to deal with my routing from another menu instead of actually in the channel, it's a bit of a mess, and it's a little cumbersome as well. And we'll be taking a look at the 5.1 surround implementation of Resolve and Premiere in a different video. Let's take a look at Premiere. A lot of people, when they look at the track mixer, the audio track mixer, they don't realize this little triangle here opens up not only the plugins that are 5 plugins per channel that you have available, but also the send assignment, etc. So if I wanted to add another bus, I could either do it by doing add tracks, or I could just go over here and say create stereo submix. It automatically puts this up for me. We'll call this test 1. The outputs are all here. If I wanted to make another one, I can do that. Just do this stereo. This will be test 2. And I can actually take the output of test 1 and make it go to test 2, pan it as I like. I can click it, double click here, and then this volume corresponds to how much send is going to test number 1. That's this channel here.
Let's see how we can make this sound any good. Now, here's me.
And you can see it's immediately coming over here if I turn this down.
Outside with some crickets and
it goes away.
And again, on my iPhone audio.
And then, of course, if I click over here, double click, I can send it directly to to test 2.
Microphone on the front. Oh, there's some cicadas. Let's see how we can make this sound.
And then send this to the master. I can also add plugins on these buses very, very easily, just like you can in Resolve. But I want to show you something that you can't do in Resolve. Let's say I have it here. I tell you what, let's say I want to have a plugin on this bus. But I realized that the way I have it, I would rather really have it on a different plugin. Well, in Resolve, on a different channel. In Resolve, I've got 2 buses here. And let's say I want the limiter on test 2, this limiter that's here. There isn't any way for me to move this over. I have to actually go here, dynamics, limiter, and then copy these over or have a preset for it. If I wanted to move this up or down in the chain, I can't do that either. If there was another plugin here, like let's say I had a compressor. Well, a compressor is a really bad example because there's one built in. But let's say I had distortion and I wanted to have the limiter below distortion. There's no way for me to do that. I have to actually say delete plugin and then instantiate a new one, dynamic, spherelight, limiter, and then put it underneath. Totally cumbersome. Whereas here, if I wanted this to be over here with the same settings, I can actually drag it over and it makes a happy copy. If I want to move it down in the chain, I just drag it down in the chain and add something else if I want to. Very, very easy. And then the overall bus architecture is so intuitive if you do any audio at all. And it's, I think, even if you haven't done audio, much more intuitive. Hopefully you get how this is a definite advantage in the Premiere workspace over the Davinci Resolve workspace. So as you can see, each one of these has their own sort of fortes, sorry for the pun, and you know, in post-production, we want to be able to have the most flexibility. And for me, that falls with Premiere Pro, because I can do very intuitive assignments, create new buses and all these kinds of things that very, very quickly. Whereas in Resolve, it takes me some time and some thinking and some routing. And also, some of the controls there are just not really intuitive. You really have to delve into a manual, even if you have experience in audio, and I don't really like that. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you. If so, please subscribe to us here at Cinema Sound YouTube channel and enjoy the hundreds of videos that we've made for you to help you get that $1 million Hollywood-level audience immersion into your productions. And join us at cinemasound.com, where we have hundreds of articles that help you do that even in more detail, and the world's only fully comprehensive audio education for picture, where we take you from knowing nothing about audio all the way to delivering in 5.1 Dolby. Hopefully we'll see you there. If not, we'll see you in post.
Even if it's for yourself.